Welcome back. All right, so career video for today. Since there were so many defensemen that retired yesterday, I figured why not Mathieu Schneider? If you're looking for a Subban or Yandel video, they are on their way very soon. That being said, Mathieu Schneider was an interesting character both in Montreal and in Toronto. Known for being a little headstrong, getting into some arguments in the locker room, not necessarily always being the most popular guy, but I mean, on the ice, the results were there. So 87-88, he plays 4 games for the Montreal Canadiens. So a cup of coffee there. Does not play for Montreal during the 88-89 season. 89-90, they bring him in, 44 games, 7 goals, 14 assists, 21 points. He had a good shot. He was a good offensive defenseman. In the playoffs, he adds a goal, 3 assists for 4 points in 9 games. 90-91, 69 games played, 10 goals, 20 assists for 30 points. In the playoffs, 13 games played, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. Good point production in the playoffs. And then 91-92 and 78 games, 8 goals, 24 assists, 32 points. In the playoffs, he adds a goal, 4 assists for 5 points in 10 games. 92-93, big year for Montreal. He plays 60 games that year. 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points. It is remarkable how many games he plays, considering how many seasons he dealt with injury. But in the playoffs, he plays 11 games for Montreal, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, and he gets a Stanley Cup ring. So, for Schneider, Stanley Cup ring, pretty strong season. Following season, 93-94 in 75 games, 20 goals, 32 assists, 52 points. So one of those rare defensemen who gets a 20-goal season. In the playoffs, he only played 1 game, did not record a point there. 94-95, he plays 30 games for Montreal, 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points. And after his, as I said, some at points contentious relationship with Montreal, whether it's media, players, however you want to look at it, he's traded April 5th to the New York Islanders. He's traded with Craig Darby and Kirk Muller in exchange for Vladimir Malikov and Pierre Turgeon. So pretty big trade right there. He goes to the Islanders and in 13 games after the trade records 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. 95-96, 65 games played, 11 goals, 36 assists, 47 points. He played in the All-Star game that year. And for some reason, if he played in an All-Star game, it meant he was going to get traded. March 13th, he is traded by the Islanders with Wendell Clark and DJ Smith in exchange for a 1997 first, which became Roberto Luongo, so ouch. Sean Haggerty, Darby Hendrickson, and Kenny Johnson. And don't worry, the Islanders managed to fritter away Luongo. But yeah, so that was a trade that, I mean, they really wanted Wendell Clark back, right? 95-96 with Toronto then, 13 games after the trade, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. In the playoffs, 6 games played, 4 assists. He misses a lot of the following season with a groin injury, only plays 26 games, records 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. And again, he's not overly popular, right? He's not an overly popular guy, and so that's an issue. Then in 97-98, he records 11 goals, 26 assists, 37 points in 76 games. He's a restricted free agent. This is 98, so restricted free agency extended pretty far. And he couldn't come to an agreement with the Leafs. The Leafs would not give him the money he wanted. This holdout continued on into the season, and the Leafs decided, you know what? We're just going to trade him. So on October 14th, he is traded to a team that's willing to pay what he wants. He's traded to the New York Rangers in exchange for a 1999 fourth-round pick and Alexander Kravtsov. They wanted to be done with it. So after that trade in 98-99, plays 75 games, 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points. 99-2000, 80 games played, 10 goals, 20 assists, 30 points. So his point totals are relatively consistent, but he is not protected in the expansion draft. So June 23rd, he is claimed by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the expansion draft. He does not sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets, however. August 14th, he was signed as an unrestricted free agent by the LA Kings. So now he's going out to the West Coast. 2000-2001 and 73 games played. Had one of his best seasons, 16 goals, 35 assists, 51 points. And he adds 9 assists in 13 games. Nice little run the Kings went on in 2001. Then in 01-02, plays 55 games, 7 goals, 23 assists, 30 points. He adds a single assist in 7 games in the playoffs that year. And then 02-03, 65 games, 14 goals, 29 assists, 43 points. And he goes to the All-Star game, which means he has to get traded. March 11th, he was traded for a 2003 first-round pick, a 2004 second-round pick, Sean Avery, and Maxim Kuznetsov. So not Evgeny Kuznetsov. This is 03. That would have been weird trading a guy who would have been, what, 2? Anyways, well, not 2, but he would not have been getting traded in 03. After the trade to Detroit, he records 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points in 13 games, and then no points in 4 playoff games. This, of course, is the year after Detroit won a Stanley Cup. The 03 Stanley Cup playoffs, they got upset in the first round. 03-04, he plays 78 games with Detroit, 14 goals, 32 assists, 46 points. He adds a goal and 2 assists for 3 points in 12 games there. And so after that little playoff run, 05-06 gets going, 72 games, 21 goals. That would be his final 20-goal season, 38 assists, 59 points. He adds a goal and 7 assists for 8 points in 6 playoff games. Not too shabby. 06-07, what would be his final year with the Detroit Red Wings, 68 games, 11 goals, 41 assists, 52 points. In the playoffs, he adds 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points in 11 games. So he goes to the market, and July 1st, he signs as an unrestricted free agent with the Anaheim Ducks. So he plays 65 games for the Ducks, 12 goals, 27 assists, 39 points, and he adds 1 goal in 6 playoff games. However, there's a problem. They don't have enough cap space to sign everybody. So Mathieu Schneider ends up being the odd man out. So September 26th of 2008, he is traded for Ken Klee, Brad Larson, and Chad Painshaw, which I guess is Pain Hot, right? Anyways, so he's traded to the Atlanta Thrashers. And so he goes to the Thrashers. I do not have a Thrashers magnet that would fit on this board. Many apologies. He plays 44 games with Atlanta in 08-09, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points. And on February 16th, he is traded with a 2009 third-round pick for a 2009 second and a 2010 third back to Montreal. So if you had told somebody back in 95 when he's traded out of Montreal, they're going to bring him back in 15 years, nobody would have believed you. But he plays 23 games with Montreal, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points, and 14 of those 17 points with Montreal were on the power play. No points in 2 playoff games. So he becomes a free agent again. And Vancouver signs him August 28th. That signing was met with a collective pardon. So Schneider at this point is 40 years old. The Canucks were looking for a power play point man. Fine, there's no problem with looking for a power play point man. The problem is trying to figure out where he's going to slot in on the defense. So he didn't debut with the team right away and ends up in a situation where when he finally plays, when he recovers from an injury he had going into the season, that he scratched 11 out of 28 games. So he left. He didn't want to play through that. He did not sign in Vancouver to be a number 7 defenseman. Now, as a Canuck fan, I totally understood how he felt at the time because, yeah, you don't sign that deal thinking you're going to be a number 7, you're not going to be playing. He signed to play. So the Canucks end up trading him March 3rd, and it was a while after he left the team, and really it went on way too long. But I was really surprised they signed him in the first place because, again, most Canuck fans looked at the Schneider signing and said, where's he going to play? So he was traded March 3rd to the Phoenix Coyotes for a 2010 6th, and Sean Zimmerman, I had to write the whole name out to make sure I didn't mix up the name because Sean Zimmerman. And then after the trade, March 3rd, he only plays 8 games with the Coyotes, records 4 assists, plays 3 playoff games, and gets a single goal. So it was a tough ending to a very long career. He ends up playing 1,289 games, 70th on the overall list, 223 goals, 520 assists, 743 points in the playoffs, 114 games, 11 goals, 43 assists, 54 points. And again, really what overshadowed a lot of his career, he's very outspoken, which means that in retirement, yeah, players wanted him to do all the union stuff if possible, and he was definitely visible during that. 1996, he did win gold with the U.S. team at the World Cup. 2000, or it was 98, actually, at the Olympics, things didn't go great for Team USA. He was left off the 02 team. So, yeah, for Mathieu Schneider, long career, played a ton of games, played a ton of locations, got himself a Stanley Cup ring in 93, and there was definitely a lot of controversy throughout. But either way, you play 1,289 games in the NHL, you're doing something right. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.